In the world of combat sports, there are moments that define careers even before the global spotlight shines down. One such moment took place back in 2015 at the Muay Thai Grand Prix in Birmingham, where a young rising star, Dakota, stepped into the ring for one of her earliest fights. At just 17 years old, she faced an opponent whose reputation preceded her, a girl with an aggressive style, known for her explosive energy and sharp trash talk. That opponent was Becky Caslin, a fighter who had already begun to make waves in the youth Muay Thai scene. What unfolded that night would become one of the most discussed early moments in Dakota's career, a fight that would showcase her technical brilliance, composure under pressure, and the kind of maturity rarely seen in athletes so young. From the opening bell, it was clear that this was no ordinary matchup. Dakota entered the ring with a calm, icy confidence that belied her age. Her long frame, lean and athletic, allowed her to control distance with precision, a skill that would become a hallmark of her fighting style. Becky Caslin, on the other hand, was full of fire. Her aggressive stance, forward-pressing footwork, and willingness to engage immediately spoke to a fighter who thrived on chaos. She was loud, brash, and ready to throw everything at her opponent, confident in her ability to overwhelm her with sheer intensity. The contrast between these two fighters, one measured and precise, the other impulsive and aggressive, set the stage for a fascinating stylistic clash. As round one began, Dakota immediately demonstrated her understanding of range and timing. A stiff teep, or front kick, snapped into Becky's midsection, halting her forward movement before she could fully establish her rhythm. It was a textbook example of using reach and technique to control a fight early, and it sent a message. This was going to be Dakota's night, not one dictated by raw aggression. Despite her youth, Dakota's footwork was fluid, constantly adjusting to maintain distance and create angles for her strikes. Caslin responded with flurries of punches and kicks, testing Dakota's defenses, but every wild swing was met with precise counters that showcased Dakota's striking IQ. It was a contrast that fascinated both the crowd and commentators alike, the measured predator versus the emotional aggressor. Becky, however, was no pushover. She had recently returned from Thailand, where she had trained and competed successfully, absorbing international styles and techniques that made her a more versatile fighter than most expected at her age. Her low kicks targeted Dakota's lead leg, attempting to disrupt her base and slow her movement. She followed up with looping hooks and overhand rights, trying to force an early opening. But Dakota, calm and calculated, slipped, pivoted, and countered with sharp combinations. A quick jab into the face, followed by a left body kick, landed cleanly and drew audible gasps from the audience. The impact was visible on Becky's expression, an initial sign that Dakota's precision could hurt just as much as raw aggression. As the fight progressed, it became clear that both fighters had different game plans. Dakota wanted to control the center of the ring, pick her shots carefully, and wear Becky down with combinations, while Becky aimed to turn the contest into a brawl, using the clinch and explosive strikes to generate momentum. When Dakota pushed forward, her strikes were sharp and controlled. When Becky engaged in close quarters, she attempted to exploit the clinch to throw knees to the body and head. It was here, in these exchanges, that Dakota's mental and tactical preparation shone through. She absorbed the pressure, responded with slicing elbows and counters, and made Becky respect her inside fighting ability. Round one concluded with a decisive moment, Dakota landing a clean right hand as Becky rushed in, a strike that elicited a roar from the crowd. It was a small, seemingly simple exchange, but it captured the essence of Dakota's approach: timing, precision, and control. Whereas Becky relied on chaos and aggression, Dakota relied on calculation and timing. She wasn't just fighting to win, she was demonstrating why she was a rising star, someone who could dominate even against an opponent with raw energy and determination. Entering round two, Becky knew she had to make a statement. She came out desperate to turn the fight in her favor, attempting to force a more aggressive pace. Her strategy included clinching and throwing knees in succession, pressing Dakota against the ropes to wear her down. For a moment, it seemed as if the plan might succeed, as Dakota's movement was restricted, and the young aggressor landed solid knees to the midsection. But Dakota's Muay Thai IQ was undeniable. Instead of panicking or responding with reckless attacks, she countered inside the clinch, using elbows to disrupt Becky's rhythm and regain control. It was a display of maturity rarely seen in fighters of any age, let alone a 17-year-old facing such high-pressure circumstances. Throughout round 2, the tactical battle continued. Dakota's kicks were crisp and damaging, alternating between body and head strikes, while Becky tried to respond with counters and low kicks to disrupt Dakota's base. Dakota's timing was nearly flawless. Every punch, every kick, was calculated to punish a specific opening or exploit a lapse in Becky's guard. The audience could see the dynamic shift in real time. Where Becky had begun with aggressive energy, Dakota now dictated the pace, forcing her opponent onto the defensive and making her second-guess each forward movement. It was a testament to Dakota's preparation, not just in physical skill, but in mental discipline, a skill honed through years of training from a very young age. By the later part of round 2, Dakota's dominance became more evident. A brutal mid-kick landed cleanly on Becky, folding her momentarily and sending a clear signal to the crowd that Dakota had taken control. Becky attempted to regroup, moving backward and attempting to shield herself, but Dakota's precision and technique left little room for recovery. Every strike, every movement, emphasized that this was not just a fight. It was a lesson in how composure and intelligence could overcome raw aggression. The final round, round 3, began with Becky throwing everything she had left. She launched herself forward, swinging wildly in an attempt to land a lucky shot that could change the course of the fight. Dakota, however, remained calm and collected. She absorbed the aggression, reading each attack with clarity, countering sharply and methodically. Her combinations were clean, her timing impeccable. Short kicks to the thighs, punches to the midsection, knees in the clinch, every movement was calculated to maximize damage and minimize risk. Becky's attacks, though relentless, were increasingly ineffective against Dakota's precision. What was remarkable was Dakota's ability to maintain composure under pressure. Even as Becky tried to force a chaotic pace, Dakota adapted in real time. She adjusted distance, changed angles, and exploited openings with technical brilliance. One moment saw Becky on the ropes throwing repeated knees, only for Dakota to counter sharply, forcing her to retreat. A standing 8 count was given, reflecting the damage dealt and Dakota's dominance in the exchanges. Yet even when the fight went the full distance, the audience's reaction suggested that the outcome was already clear. Dakota Ditcheva had proven herself as the superior fighter, not through chaos, but through strategy, technique, and discipline. When the judges read the decision, it was unanimous. Dakota Ditcheva had won, and the victory was a statement that would resonate throughout the Muay Thai community. It wasn't just about the win on paper, it was about demonstrating a level of skill, poise, and fight IQ that set her apart from her peers. Becky Caslin, though valiant and aggressive, could not match the combination of composure and technical proficiency that Dakota displayed throughout the night. Looking back at this fight, several lessons stand out. Dakota's use of distance and timing, even at such a young age, was extraordinary. She understood the importance of controlling the pace, exploiting openings, and conserving energy for decisive moments. Her clinch work and ability to use elbows and knees strategically disrupted Becky's aggressive plans and highlighted Dakota's adaptability. Moreover, her mental discipline, maintaining calm under pressure, reading the opponent, and executing game plans flawlessly, demonstrated a maturity rarely seen in fighters of any age, especially in teenagers competing at high-stakes events. Becky Caslin, meanwhile, showed the other side of the spectrum. Her aggression, willingness to push the pace, and raw power made her a formidable opponent, particularly in the early rounds. She demonstrated resilience, creativity in attack, and a determination to overcome a technically superior opponent. While she fell short in this fight, her performance provided insight into what makes a young fighter dangerous: the combination of aggression, unpredictability, and the ability to apply pressure relentlessly. In many ways, this fight was a perfect contrast of styles, a textbook study in how composure and technical skill can overcome raw emotion and aggression. The atmosphere inside the venue also added to the intensity of the bout. Crowds in Muay Thai events are not merely spectators. They react to the ebb and flow of the fight, to each strike and counter, and to the tension that builds as rounds progress. From the moment Dakota's front kick stopped Becky's initial rush to the clean combinations that echoed across the arena, the audience was on edge, experiencing every success and setback with the fighters. By the final round, the energy was palpable, a mix of awe and excitement as Dakota methodically dismantled Becky's strategy and controlled the fight entirely. This fight also highlighted the global nature of Muay Thai and the influence of international training experiences. Becky Caslin's exposure to training and fighting in Thailand added layers of complexity to her approach, allowing her to incorporate diverse techniques and counter-strategies. Dakota, on the other hand, demonstrated that technical mastery and strategic intelligence could neutralize even an opponent with international experience and a varied arsenal. For young fighters and enthusiasts studying this bout, it serves as a lesson that preparation, mental toughness, and technical execution are as crucial as raw talent and experience. Beyond the technicalities, there is also a human story here. Both fighters were only 17, navigating not just the physical demands of Muay Thai but the psychological pressures of competitive combat. Dakota's ability to maintain clarity under pressure, to read her opponent, and to execute precise strategies is a testament to years of disciplined training and mental conditioning. Becky's emotional and aggressive approach, while ultimately less effective, showcased the fearlessness and commitment required to step into the ring at a young age and compete at a high level. In retrospect, this fight was more than just an early career win for Dakota Ditcheva. It was a statement of identity, an early declaration of her style, and a glimpse into the future of a fighter destined for greatness. Every technical decision, every perfectly timed counter, and every composed maneuver foreshadowed the kind of career Dakota would go on to build. For those who witnessed it live or who study the footage now, it is evident why Dakota became one of the most feared rising stars in combat sports. Even without the bright lights and global attention, she displayed the qualities that separate hype from real talent: discipline, precision, intelligence, and the ability to dominate without chaos. By contrast, Becky Caslin's performance also left an impression. While she did not win the fight, her aggression, willingness to engage, and perseverance under pressure reflect the qualities of a fighter with potential. She demonstrated that youth does not limit skill or determination, and that even in defeat, a fighter can show heart, resilience, and flashes of brilliance. Her ability to score on Dakota, even briefly, highlighted her capability to challenge superior opponents and the importance of adaptability and strategic development in the years that followed. Ultimately, this bout serves as a compelling study in contrasts. It is a showcase of how two young fighters, both highly skilled yet fundamentally different in style, can create a narrative that is as thrilling as it is instructive. Dakota's control, precision, and calm dominance stood in stark contrast to Becky's aggression, unpredictability, and emotional engagement. The fight was not only a competition, it was a lesson in strategy, preparation, and the mental aspects of combat, illustrating how youth and raw talent intersect with intelligence, composure, and technique. The impact of this fight extends beyond the immediate outcome. For Dakota Ditcheva, it solidified her reputation as a rising star, someone capable of handling pressure, reading opponents, and executing complex strategies under fire. For fans and future fighters, it became a point of reference for what constitutes technical mastery and mental toughness in the sport. And for Becky Caslin, it was an experience that would shape her development, teaching lessons in discipline, timing, and the value of controlling one's aggression within a competitive context. Looking back now, one can see how pivotal this moment was in shaping Dakota's trajectory. The precision in her combinations, the intelligence in her counterattacks, and the ability to manage distance and read her opponent, all of these elements were on full display in Birmingham. She didn't just win the fight, she communicated to the world what kind of fighter she would become. One who relies on brains and skill as much as strength, one who remains calm under chaos, and one whose potential was already evident even at 17. Becky Caslin, meanwhile, serves as a reminder of the raw energy, fearlessness, and competitive fire that are essential in combat sports. While she did not emerge victorious that night, her willingness to engage, her resilience under pressure, and the moments when she landed effective strikes reflect the qualities of a fighter who can grow, adapt, and continue to challenge higher-level opponents. Her style and approach contrast beautifully with Dakota's, offering a nuanced study of how different strategies manifest in the ring and how talent, preparation, and mental discipline intersect with natural aggression. As the night came to a close, the judge's decision was unanimous. Dakota Ditcheva had won clearly, but the story of the fight went far beyond numbers and scoring. It was a narrative about discipline versus chaos, strategy versus aggression, and precision versus raw energy. It was about a young athlete demonstrating mental maturity, technical skill, and composure that would set her apart for years to come. For those studying the fight, it remains a masterclass in how to approach an opponent who relies on aggression and unpredictability. For fans, it was a thrilling display of youth, skill, and determination, a fight that would be talked about for years as one of Dakota's most defining early moments. In summary, the Muay Thai Grand Prix in Birmingham provided a stage for two 17-year-old fighters to display extraordinary talent and determination. Dakota Ditcheva's precise, intelligent, and controlled performance contrasted with Becky Caslen's aggressive, emotional, and relentless approach. The fight served as a showcase of technique, mental discipline, and strategic execution, ultimately solidifying Dakota's status as a rising star in combat sports while providing invaluable lessons for both fighters and observers. It was a contest that transcended the immediate outcome, highlighting the essence of what makes a great fighter: skill, composure, intelligence, and the ability to impose one's will while maintaining control under pressure. From the first bell to the final seconds, Dakota Ditcheva demonstrated the qualities that would define her career: precision, timing, and mental clarity. Becky Caslen showed the qualities of resilience, aggression, and determination that are essential for growth in the sport. Together, they created a fight that was not only thrilling to watch but instructive for anyone seeking to understand the complexities and beauty of Muay Thai at its highest level. This early encounter, though now years in the past, remains a touchstone in Dakota Ditcheva's journey, a clear marker of the talent, intelligence, and potential that would carry her to the top of the combat world. In reflecting on that night, one sees more than just punches, kicks, and knees. One sees the emergence of a star. Dakota Ditcheva's victory was decisive, not just in scorecards but in presence, technique, and the quiet authority she carried in the ring. Becky Caslen's performance, though valiant and spirited, underscored the importance of strategy, timing, and mental discipline, lessons that every young fighter can learn from. It was a night of contrasts, a night of growth, and above all, a night that would forever mark the early chapters of Dakota Ditcheva's remarkable career. The fight ended with applause for both athletes, acknowledging the skill, courage, and dedication displayed by two 17-year-olds stepping into the ring, fully aware of the challenges before them. Dakota Ditcheva left the arena not just as a winner on the scorecards, but as a fighter who had communicated to the world that talent combined with intelligence, preparation, and mental fortitude can dominate even the most aggressive and unpredictable opponent. Becky Caslen left with lessons, experiences, and the satisfaction of having pushed a future star to demonstrate the best of her abilities. In conclusion, the Muay Thai Grand Prix in Birmingham was more than an early career fight. It was a showcase of youth, talent, strategy, and mental discipline. Dakota Ditcheva's early victory over Becky Caslen revealed a fighter capable of extraordinary precision, control, and intelligence in the ring. It demonstrated how composure under pressure, tactical execution, and an understanding of timing can overcome raw aggression and chaos. The fight serves as a reminder of what sets elite fighters apart from their peers and provides a lasting example of skill, preparation, and mental toughness. Even years later, revisiting this bout offers insight into Dakota's development, style, and potential, while also offering lessons in resilience, aggression, and adaptation from Becky Caslen. The narrative of the fight extends beyond victory and defeat, illustrating the interplay of strategy, skill, and psychology in combat sports. For Dakota, it was a stepping stone to stardom, For Becky, a test of mettle and a foundation for growth. And for spectators, it was an unforgettable encounter, showcasing the drama, excitement, and artistry of Muay Thai at its highest level. In retrospect, the story of Dakota Ditcheva versus Becky Caslin is more than just an early career matchup. It is a testament to preparation, intelligence, and composure in youth combat sports. Dakota's performance revealed a prodigious talent, a combination of mental acuity and physical skill that would serve as the foundation for a stellar career. Becky Caslin demonstrated the importance of aggression, adaptability, and courage in the face of technical mastery. Together, they created a fight that continues to resonate, offering both inspiration and lessons to young fighters, enthusiasts, and anyone seeking to understand what it takes to excel in the demanding world of Muay Thai. From start to finish, the fight illustrated the dynamics of youth talent facing aggressive opposition, the significance of preparation and mental fortitude, and the power of strategic execution in combat sports. Dakota Ditcheva emerged not only as the victor, but also as a symbol of what dedication, skill, and composure can achieve even at a young age. Becky Caslin's courage and determination ensured that the bout was both thrilling and instructive, highlighting the essence of competitive growth and the journey of fighters striving for excellence.